So what? Look. I'm on solar.
It's the new OGs. The new OGs is a State Madison production and is brought to you by Solar Masters. Solar Masters is helping homeowners in Illinois take advantage of a program that lets them get solar power at no cost. Listen, if you're a single-family homeowner in the state of Illinois, you can lower your electric bill, you can raise the value of your home, and you can do all of that along with something good for the environment without paying $1 out of your pocket to do so. In fact,
Not a dollar, Bobby.
no money out of your pocket. Nothing. And you know, it was brought up to me the other day that one of people's main concern is about having to get batteries for their solar panel system. Here's the thing I think a lot of people are confused about. These systems don't need batteries. So if you were worried about having to buy batteries, no batteries. It's amazing. In fact, Solar Masters can only work with you if they can save you money, which is great. They're a SunPower dealer. That's an American panel maker with over 30 years of solar experience. And listen to this. They even have a referral program that pays out as much as $500 per referral. So you send somebody to Solar Masters, they go solar, you get $500. It's really just that easy. So do this. Head over to yeah.
It's free. It don't need no battery.
You sound like you smoked the most crack just before we do this part.
It's free. It don't need no batteries.
Right.
And if you help somebody else help themselves, you get $500.
Right. And you get a cheaper electric bill. Yeah. Free, cheaper. Yep. All that stuff.
Man, that's better than Mama Breakfast, dude.
It's the future. Yeah, it is better than somebody's mama's breakfast. Maybe not mine, but maybe yours.
Your mom can't cook?
I don't know. I haven't eaten your mama's food, so I don't want to judge your mama. But
I know. Mama.
Oh, my mama can cook. Yeah. She's doing great. She's great.
I said mama's breakfast. I didn't say my mama's breakfast. I mean, my mama can burn. I ain't gonna shame my mama. My mama can burn, but you know.
Yeah, of course. Well, we don't all believe our mothers can cook. Some of us
you wanna know play shit?
Some of us are
Kyle Scanlon.
Yeah.
Kyle Scanlon. On a long road trip with Kyle Scanlon, he's telling me his mom's gonna cook for us. He said, my mom's a great cook, you'll love it. And I made the joke, hey Kyle, everybody likes their mom's cooking, that's how that works. And he, while driving, looked at me in a way of rage, of anger, that he has never looked at me any other time before. And he goes, my mom can fucking cook. My dad built a shed outside just for all the orders she gets as a caterer. And I was like, oh God. So if you ever want to get to the core of Kyle Scanlon, tell him his mama can't cook.
There you go. Now we got for all of you who are looking to get to the core of Kyle Scanlon. This is we have given the secret away in the middle of this Solar Masters promo.
Oh yeah, Solar Masters.
If you want to tell Kyle about his mom, go over to www.gosolarmasters.com and get in contact for a free consultation or a first one or to just talk about Kyle's mom's cooking. We are also brought.
She's really good.
We're also brought to you by People of Comedy. That is the network that we're on right now. Listen to this. If you are a fan of Instagram, go over to People of Comedy's Instagram page. They're actually streaming this show live on Instagram. Am I right, James? Are we there?
Let me look.
Before I send everybody over there.
I like our background, James.
Our
background is our flyer, Bobby.
Oh, is it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Instagram. While we are live.
This is great,
but it looks terrible. It is not landscape like we planned. It is vertical, so it's literally just the middle of the screen with neither one of you in it. So we're gonna.
That's hilarious.
So it's like half of both of us.
It's literally here. I'll show you guys because you can see it. But that's what it looks like.
Oh wait a second. Which way do I gotta lean to be in the screen?
Yeah, go to your left.
Oh yeah, I don't know how long. Bobby, lean into it so we see.
Where are we at here?
I think that's it. Yeah, there we go.
Now you're in there.
I bet. Okay. So 10 minutes from now, people will be able to see that. It was just coming in.
It's never gonna happen. It's never.
No, I think I just saw it come in like that. No.
Well, we spent a lot of time trying to set that up for you guys today, so
I'll figure it out, boys. Don't worry.
We were 4 p.m.ish as fuck today, but we tried to set up good shit.
That's hilarious, man. Well, here, go over to People of Comedy. Maybe not to catch this episode on Instagram right now, but get over to People of Comedy. Check out all the podcasts that they've got over there, all the different shows. They have some amazing stuff going on. Go check out People of Comedy and see their great stuff and check them out. James is amazing. He's doing a ton of work for great people in the scene, and it's pretty dope, man. What is going on? Oh, do we have anything else? Zanies all the way through August? Are we done with Zanies? Are they out of the window?
September 4th. Don't ever go to Zanies again. Just kidding. Go to Zanies.
Still go to Zanies, but
baby. That's how it works in advertising.
If you don't re-up.
Huh? Where you at, Comedy Shrine?
Yeah, Brian Morton, call me right now.
Yeah, he's re-upping while we speak. No. How's it going, XL, man?
Man, dude, I'm groovy as a Pixar movie, man.
This is... I don't trust rhyming cliches. I just want to get that out there right now.
I don't know that that's a cliche. I think I just made that up. But...
Yeah, but it's an attempt. Any one of those things where someone is trying to express like some like bedrock human style thing and it rhymes, I'm immediately skeptical of it.
Yes. Okay.
Because I'm usually just like,
I'm sad and alone, Bobby. I'm sad and alone. My woman lives 90 miles away from me. I can't drive through the state of Wisconsin. They shoot niggas on sight.
Yeah, man. It's not. It's been an interesting time up here this week. I'll say that. It's not a great time to be out traveling around. There's been 2 presidents that have been in Wisconsin here in the last week, which is
a present and a future.
Yeah, sorry. A president and a vice president who've been in town the last week. Two presidential, 2 guys running for president who've been in town in the last week, which is, usually come in because they need to try and lure voters, which they do need to do in Wisconsin. But they were obviously here for some other reasons, which have like spiraled into crazy insanity of Facebook arguments. Essentially,
so
that's what's.
You want to know something insane about Biden being in town? Is I wanted to come up.
You found it,
huh?
Hey,
you want to know something? I know we're keeping it light today. We're having fun.
I couldn't
have fun with this. You want to know? I think Joe Biden was rope-a-doping Trump the entire fucking time. Because this motherfucker's coming out like, this nigga's dancing on here like, hey, come on,
so
Donnie.
like,
Let's go. Where you at?
One of the things
I'm jogging with the Secret Service, nigga. What's up? You thought I was a doddering old man? Fuck you. I will fuck you up, Trump. I think he was setting that nigga up, man. He's ready, like Joe ready to go, man.
Look, they hit that nigga with a mega dose of some fucking T therapy. They hit him with some testosterone therapy.
Like mainline and vitamin B.
They put him in one of those baths where you just like, they set him in like testosterone for like, like a float tank, but testosterone. Where they
what if he's doing the what's the Zuckerberg shit? Like Young Blood.
That's not Zuckerberg. That was Peter Thiel that they accused doing that. And
Zuckerberg does it too.
And the website, by the way, that accused him of doing that is no longer in business. So
oh, okay. Hey man,
so I don't know.
I don't know what he do.
Let me tell you something. Well, I will tell you this about
Zuckerberg. Did Gawker come up with that story?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
I think so. And now Peter Thiel basically owned them.
Although, let's keep it 100. Yeah. They're out of business. They're not out of business because they told a lie. They're out of business because Peter Thiel is worth billions of dollars.
Right, he could afford to.
They couldn't fucking,
Yeah, they couldn't afford to keep up with the lawsuits. It was easier for them to go out of business, which is insanity, than to keep fighting.
Yeah, and that's the censorship when people talk about, and it's not against the First Amendment because Peter Thiel technically isn't the government.
Right.
But that's the problem with motherfuckers having that much money. People are like, yeah, and then he gets to control a whole fucking he gets to decide whether or not a whole media outlet exists.
Right. Yeah, that's the problem, and the control of that by him is it's an issue that has torn a hole in a lot of the way that journalism works. That's why you end up with a lot of these like loose runs of what journalism is out there, and it's the ways that you can get crushed in that arena by just trying to speak your mind. And that's the thing too, is like, whether it's wrong or not doesn't even matter anymore, right? Like whether it's the truth, whether it's just like, oh, well, the billionaire is able to spend enough money to crush that. So,
hey man, I gotta be 100% with you. I told you this shit in private. I'm gonna share it now. Rachel Maddow broke my motherfucking heart. Speaking of this media shit, she broke my motherfucking heart. Like, I know all the media shit, like, they're liberal, woo, woo, but she usually has facts on her shit. Like, she comes to the fight with facts. And in debate style, and I'm an old fucking forensics team, debate team guy, so I dig what she does. But
Right.
the other day, she ran back-to-back political ads with nobody from the campaign or nobody from the ad company, not any of the actors in the ad, nobody there representing those ads. She just ran the ad, and then she didn't even really comment on the ad. Like, she just ran political ads during her time.
Here, check this out.
Yeah, here, watch this. There was no. She was just like, hey, these people are attacking Trump like this, and ran the ad. And that's not news, because that's how ads work. If we're supposed to see that shit, they'll pay for us to see it.
Yeah.
Like, not on your airtime when we're supposed to be getting, whatever we get from your show. That was heartbreaking. I get it. We got to get this monster out, but that's
the difficulty, right? Like, there's always that line of like how far towards the line. But we'd had that conversation earlier at one point about Biden, where we talked about him, not fighting necessarily fairly with Trump if it came down to it, in regards to just like debate practice, right? Like in trying to like lure and sucker punch in a debate, not really in like general running terms, but just even in the debate, be ready to fight this dude. Like, don't if he's gonna go into the debate being like, I'm gonna stick solely by the rules, trust me, the guy who just violated a bunch of Hatch Acts.
He's looking fucked up.
You know what I mean? Like, imagine getting into a ring that's technically a no holds barred ring, right? Where at least you can like throw the punch before you get reprimanded for it, and being like, I'm not even gonna throw a punch. Like, if you,
it would be like if Conor McGregor in the fight with when he fought
Mayweather. When he fought
Mayweather. Yeah, if like in the third round he just said "fuck it" and tackled that nigga and started choking him. Out.
But
that's
then when
Trump was gonna do.
But when the ref stops him, he's like, all right, you guys just keep fighting though. Like, because that's what happens in a debate, right? You say you go over your time, you say some foul ass shit. They just go, all right, well, we gotta move on to the next question. It isn't just like, oh, well, you lose the debate now because you said foul shit. It's just like, oh no, we're gonna move on to the next thing.
That's a change my nerd ass would like to see. That I know nobody else would give a fuck about, because I know most people, they talk about the debates, but the percentage of people who really give a fuck about debates is small, man, I believe, in this day and age. Maybe like 50 years ago, because I know everybody makes a big deal about the Nixon-Kennedy debate 60 years ago. But since then, I don't remember another one. Reagan... the Mondale one.
It's interesting because I'm not sure if less people are watching the debates as much as is less percentage of the total TV watching or like media watching population is watching the debates, right? Like, there's way more people than there were in the 1960s, but I'm not sure if the actual total number of people who gave a shit is, you know what I mean? Like, it could still be if it's 30 million people who are interested. Well, there's just so many more people now that like 30 million is a much smaller percentage in the grand scheme of things.
Here's what I mean about, I guess, this is why I don't give a fuck about the debates this year, I guess, is fuck you if you haven't made up your mind yet.
If you're not sure.
Fuck you. If you're not sure, those people who are not sure, people who, because men and women do this shit, like post some shit on Instagram or Facebook that makes you like inbox them like, hey, is everything okay? They just want some motherfucking attention. You know what I'm saying?
Those are the people who aren't sure right now.
That's what I'm saying. Sure, they want to get on fucking CNN and like, but Trump's really good for the economy. How, motherfucker? How is the economy good for the economy to you? He's good for the economy to very, very wealthy motherfuckers. He has done nothing for you. This is supposed to be the fun show, right?
I mean, you got deep into the Trump shit early. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm sorry.
I do. I mean, that is true though, right? Like, if you're still just not sure, you're just like, I don't know what it is that you're a tease. You're a political tease. You do want a little attention. Speaking of attention, there is a story of a woman who definitely wants some attention. She has to be the lead story because people like this threaten every light-skinned person everywhere. There is a professor from George Washington University. Her name is Jessica Krug, I guess is what Krug is her name. She is she has been a professor there, dealing in like African American studies of different varieties and so on. For a number of years, she's been a professor under this guise. She herself had claimed that she was from North Africa, the Caribbean, maybe. Turns out she's a Jewish woman from Kansas City.
Wow. Wow.
Yep, just a Jewish lady from Kansas City.
Bobby, you know who's nervous right now?
Me.
Perry. Melissa Harris Perry. Motherfuckers started looking at her sideways like, hey, we're going to need some credentials because she fits the profile. College professor.
It's super unfair, man. Like, what are these people doing? Her, Rachel Dolezal, maybe Sean King. What are we doing here? I don't know.
Here's the thing. Shout out to maybe Sean King.
Maybe Sean King likes shout outs.
We don't know. We're not sure.
Not really sure. Got to do a little more research. There's a lot of stories.
Yeah, it goes. We don't know if he likes shout outs or not. So
what's crazy is how this lady outed herself. She put out her own Medium post, which is, usually very questionable for validity already at Medium. And so she put out her own Medium post basically saying that she's a piece of shit. She's just been like, I've been lying forever. I've tried to do all this shit. She wasn't a culture vulture. She was a culture leech. And like, it sucks because when that shit happens, like seriously, for a dude who's a light-skinned person of color, it is fucking annoying to have to like see that person do that. And then like, it's already weird enough being passing white and getting on posts with a bunch of black people, most of whom who don't know me, and saying shit, and then like like waiting for somebody to say something foolish, right? Like I've had white dudes already on posts like in the past few weeks who I've done shows with who assumed I was a white person.
Yeah.
And my material is makes it very clear.
Well, hey,
any set I've ever done longer than 4 minutes, something about my race is probably in there.
But I loved your set.
Right. Yeah. Enough to become Facebook friends with me. I know I didn't search this dude out. Yeah. There's nothing about his life that I would have sought. You know what I mean?
Bobby, this affects me too. My girlfriend looks like what Rachel Dolezal was shooting for. Right. She has like literally curly hair, all that stuff, and she comments on it all the time. So like this is touching me personally because I'm gonna have to hear about this shit. She's gonna be mad. This bitch is out here trying to be me.
Yeah. This is super upsetting. You know what I mean? Like my younger sister got all the color, and so she doesn't really have these issues. Like it's not she's not somebody who people assume she's just not white. They don't know what's going on, but they're just like, well, obviously not white though. Like obviously not completely white, definitely. And me, like the only time that here's how you can tell that I am clearly not white. I've been fucking around with that Reface app. You know the app Reface?
Yeah.
So the people who I reface on that I look the most natural on are definitely not the white guys. Except for Keanu Reeves. For some reason, I fit really well in the John Wick reface shit. I fit well in those. But other than that, all the brothers at my face, the facial features just work right there.
Keanu Reeves is alien royalty. And that's why everybody looks a little bit like Keanu Reeves.
From what I understood, a very nice guy, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, definitely
would not like this Jessica Krug lady who basically just outed herself. And then like, she's contributed to books and shit, man. Like this lady was like, that's the weird thing is like, if you want to pretend to be black, it's shitty, but like, okay, but why are you trying to become well known? As like, just be a quiet, fake black person in your neighborhood. Like, be a friendly neighborhood black.
You're not trying to just be black. You're trying to be black and be Oprah.
Which is odd because like you're trying to be part of this culture, but also take jobs from it, which is a weird flex, right? Like I want to be black so much, I want their fucking jobs. Okay,
Did she full on Dolezal? And have a black family that didn't know she wasn't black?
From what I understand, she did not get into the whole. She has not gotten into the relationship part of it. She just tricked a lot of like schools and authors and a bunch of people into believing that she was black.
You know what? You know what happened, Bobby? She got invited to somebody she's dating a brother. She got invited to somebody's Labor Day barbecue, and they asked her to bring something, and she panicked. She panicked. She's like, "Oh, they're gonna find me out." She just told on herself.
Yeah, that's a weird.
She heard about the potato salad. She heard about the potato salad.
Maybe she got a little bit of conscience about her. I don't know exactly what caused her to come out with it, but whatever, man. I'm glad.
He was gonna get caught somehow. Nobody just fucking gives himself up. She was gonna get caught anyway. So then she was like, "Oh yeah, I did this shit."
Yeah. You did talk about Trump earlier, and we did have a little shit we were going to talk about. But mostly, I was going to talk about how he's been shitting on this report that came out that he was shitting on the soldiers, which is not a surprise for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean, really?
The guy who took 5 deferments so he wouldn't have to serve, who called John McCain a loser, like for sure, like in tweets and shit, and in public.
He said it in his speech, like that. They played the shit again this morning because motherfucker, like, I don't care what you say. Like, you can agree, like, think he's whatever. Like, you can see the pattern, man. It's a motherfucking pattern. He didn't like John. I didn't like the guys who get caught. I like the guys who didn't get caught, which means that nothing from a coward that deferred from even going. Talking about the guys who didn't get caught and who got caught. Piece of shit. And then on top of that, that I remember him not going to that. I remember. Yep. It was during. I don't know what
the story was weird. I remember that. I remember like it was one of these goofy ass stories where he was like it was like supposed to be happen.
Whatever he said, I knew it was a lie. Whatever the press release was, I knew it was a lie immediately because it implied that the Secret Service couldn't do something, and that's not a statement that exists. The secret's like, if you need to go somewhere, from what I understand, the way the Secret Service works. If the president wants to go somewhere, they say, "Sir, we don't think we could do that." If the president says, "I want to do it," they say, "Okay, we'll figure it out."
Yeah, they're going.
Yeah,
yeah, they're going to wherever the hell that is. That's the deal.
Yeah. Like they're going. They'll figure it out.
It's just, again, it's one of these situations where this story is coming out.
You think about it, he's shitting on the Secret Service right there.
He's shitting on everybody who served, period, and all their family members. You know how many people lost people overseas in wars and different conflicts who have to sit here and like, it's one of those things where it's not an insane thought to think about him saying, and then you go, how come none of these real high-level military guys speak up and say anything? That doesn't happen. But you also wonder, like, why would anybody still be for a guy who says those things?
I have a childhood friend who lost a limb in Iraq, and I wonder how he feels about it because I know he's a hardcore Trump supporter.
The thing is that, again, like we talked about last week, negative partisanship is a big deal. And so, like, they will overlook so much bull. My thing right now is like, if you have overlooked all the other bullshit that's gone on, I'm appalled by the story, but I am not shocked at all about anybody just kind of like brushing over that, because first, there's no like real person who just came out and said, "I was there on the plane. He fucking said it." It's all like sources. Are there real human beings that came forward? Like, my name is Guy with a real name.
High-level military person and high-level like aide to the secretary, like, or something like that. I can't remember who they were. But there were 2 people who confirmed that they were on the chopper, or not on the chopper, wherever he said it. That they were there, and he said, "Yeah, he said that," or something to that effect.
How long before Trump talked about how little he knows those people?
He already said it. This is how you know he's full of shit, because his quote was, whoever said it was probably somebody that failed in this administration. But
they got the names, right? They got the names of the people who said it.
I don't know if they have the names.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though, man. Like, this is how people will disavow that shit, because, like, some guy said it who is up high level. Well, that leaves all the leeway for somebody who wants to excuse that shit to be able to do it. If it was
I was like listening to an NPR thing, and they said the titles of the people, but I didn't get the names.
That's what I'm saying. If they were that's in the stuff I've read so far, they haven't named the people, and that is for people that are trying to keep sucking that dick. That is all they need to know to be like, I don't even know if a real person said it.
Wait, they ain't say nobody's name. Oh,
you're right back on it. If they were like, it was Mattis, or
it was
like,
out for you people at home
If you watching, you got to see what it would look like.
Yeah, what it would look like. What it's like sucking Trump's dick. That's what it is.
We're not going to stay on political shit for too long, hopefully. But Facebook, we were talking about this before we got on. Facebook is limiting political ads a whole week before the election.
Woo! Like, hey man, this election, people start voting like next week, literally.
Yeah, my ballot's I'm just waiting for my shit to show up in the mail, and I'm gonna get it and put it right back in the motherfucker.
I'm not putting mine in the mail. I'm actually gonna deliver.
Yeah, I'm gonna take mine to a super white neighborhood and drop it off there.
That's my neighborhood. So
you know where they're picking up the mail?
Your
in
neighborhood
Republican
too.
neighborhoods.
Your neighborhood is your neighborhood diverse?
Like it's not really that white over here.
Oh, really?
No,
I did not know that.
Black man.
Huh? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
There's white people here, but there's not a lot of them.
Interesting.
Yeah, man, it's nothing but grills in the backyard out here, homie. We all grilling.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It's a grill party on the weekends out back, man. If this COVID shit wasn't going on, I would know all these neighbors.
Poppin'.
So, it would be so cold out here. We'd be
probably be a beer whiz tournament going through the apartment building.
Oh, there'd be a lot going on, man. It'd be way more hype than it is for sure right now. I know that 100%. But yeah, the neighborhood not too far away though, for sure. That's the spot you got to go to.
Okay.
You know, it's not too bad up here. They're still trying to hold Burning Man. Did you know about that? Because
it's out in the desert. And
so they have. I think some of it is out there, and then it's virtual for a lot of it. I think is what they're doing.
Hey man, you know what? Virtual Burning Man in my garage with shrooms.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna make my garage pitch black and just have a big screen up on the wall. I've been wanting to put a flat big screen in this motherfucker anyway.
Have you ever wanted to go to Burning Man? Is that a thing you've ever given a shit about? Is that
I like the concept of it, but I also remember the fact that I'm a large black man in America, and it just like going out in the desert with a bunch of motherfuckers tripping on drugs doesn't seem like it ends well for me. So I don't do that. But it seems cool.
My problem for me is I'm not a big fan of falling asleep in places that aren't hotel beds or actual rooms. Like that's a big issue for me. It's all virtual this year, so it's all online. I don't know, like I guess you go in a room and you just get a bunch of sand and throw it in the air with a fan on and call it the same thing.
Hey man,
don't shower for 2 days or whatever.
I'm gonna double dose. I'm gonna black out my garage. I'm going to double dose shrooms and just have nothing but that screen showing, everything else blacked out, and just fucking I'll be a Burning Man.
The other thing about it is so Burning Man, when I first started hearing about Burning Man, was a lot more about like the original Burning Man concept. And there's been a lot of people who have money now that go out there. And so like, there's been kind of an influx of the capitalism section. Yeah, there's a little bit of capitalism going on in Burning Man that has kind of like exploded. And from what I understand from people that aren't that into that part of it, you can still go out there and have like a decent time with your people, right? But like there's definitely an element of like bullshit and fuckery, and like the place is really about this like exchange of things, right? Like trading things for each other, the barter system, and that's a lot more without money. And the minute you start infusing more capitalism, that starts to drift a little bit, which is not great.
Oh wow, man.
Speaking of some not great stuff, are you familiar with Eric Murillo? Do you know that DJ?
Yes, I know the name. Help me out.
Famous house DJ for a long time.
Yes,
he actually wrote and produced a song, I Like to Move It. You know, I like to move it. That song.
I like to move it.
Yeah. It was like,
I think he made some cheddar off a commercial with that, right?
Yeah.
Big commercial cheddar.
And he's 49 years old. He's been a club DJ for a long, long time. There's a ton of people that I have friends that know him very, very well. If I met him, it was literally just like at a club, at a party or a club one time briefly, but never like. No, it was just I know people who know him, so I can only assume maybe I ran into the guy once before. But I was a fan of his music. He passed away this last week at 49. Before you say oh no, he had been accused of sexual assault like a couple of weeks before then, or just not too long before that. And the test kit had just come back. I don't know what you're laughing at. The test kit had just come back, and like he was going to be in some trouble.
So he took his own life.
That is the estimation so far. There hasn't been details.
Okay.
But,
I thought the nigga had COVID or something like
but
that.
But the COVID got him.
Crazy coincidence. Like,
no.
Got him before the cops did. Is that what you're trying to say? That's
no, I think he got himself.
Laughing about because I didn't know that he killed himself. So I
think he got himself. Rumors have come out since that like there's been a few other potential incidents that he had been like that some people had claimed, but no one's ever really come forward on. This is the first time anybody's come forward on it. But it was pretty clear that he was in trouble. Like the kit that they had run for the woman who had made the accusation came back with him on it, and so he was probably going to be in some serious shit. Yeah. The weird thing has been like the reaction. The weird thing has been the reaction of the music community since his passing, because there are a lot of obviously this man was not able to stand trial, right? So like there are some people who are fighting for his legacy and the idea that like, well, nothing ever going to court for anything. There's no way to prove. And this guy, this is a staple of house music. This is, you name the festival, Eric Morillo was a draw. Like this is, you go to see Eric Morillo, right? Like, sometimes you go to a festival because you're like, we're gonna go dance and have fun. No, if Eric Morillo is playing, if it's not the reason, it's probably one of the reasons you are going to the festival or whatever the show is because he's there. So like there has been a lot of tension in like, especially the dance music community lately over like how to properly remember a dude, which has been an interesting thing to see because there are a lot of people who are definitely like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It comes down to it.
And by the way, I want to clarify something real quick. I was not laughing at that he committed suicide. I was laughing at I didn't understand the switch up of your tone when you went to the other thing. I was still like, I was
trying to figure out the right way to tell the story and like make it
horrible accusations, but why not? Oh no, this shit! Like this nigga died of a horrible illness. Because I'm thinking he's 49. Like it must have been COVID, right? Like,
right, something had to get him. Well,
I didn't even think about then when you got to like the test came back. I was like, oh, this nigga murked himself. Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Well, people be fucking up all the time. Not you, I mean, in general. It's a weird thing because of course someone passes and because someone doesn't know the whole story that like all the RIP to a legend shit comes out. And then all of a sudden you get let in on the story and you're like, oh yeah, is it still RIP to a legend or can it also be fuck that guy though? And it's been interesting just seeing people grapple with that and try and figure it out.
It's tough, man. It's tough. It's tough with everybody that has done this shit. Like it's way more people than I would have even thought. Like I knew that. I guess I didn't know. Like we used to talk about when we first met. We used to trade Hollywood conspiracy theories and stuff, and we found out like most of that shit was true. We found out like a lot of that shit was like real accurate,
right?
And unfortunately, like now all these people getting caught. It's fortunately all them people getting caught, but unfortunately all that shit was true because it was a horrible shit. That's a whole nother show to get into all what that shit was, but it's crazy. It's crazy how many people that are household names and that people think are great, swell people, and they're monsters.
Yeah, and it's a really weird thing because there's a thing that people do when they are being monsters and also know they're being monsters, where especially when they have the money or the availability to, where they'll do a lot of nice things to try and they're trying to offset their own personal guilt, and it's not necessarily out of altruism, or they really do have altruistic bones in their body, but they know they've been monsters, and so they try and do these things to try and offset the level of monster they've become, which I think in some way we all kind of do that a little bit, right? Like we all know we're flawed. So we try and do things to try and be like, I'm decent. It's just like the level of it from some of the people that are also monsters becomes gross when you finally uncover it.
I make a quick plea. I've lost all hope in all heroes except for one. No, there's two. Denzel Washington and Barack Obama. You motherfuckers better not have no crazy shit going on. Like, I need
anybody else could be flawed.
I need for this reality, whoever is running my simulation for this reality to not just crash for me. I need Denzel Washington and Barack Obama to actually be good dudes.
You need them to not have I've never heard of any other scandals so far, so I'm assuming that will continue to be that way.
Yeah. So.
I would like to see that maintained if we can make that happen.
There's some right winger like, oh buddy, do I got some stuff for you on Obama?
Oh yeah.
I don't know that. Where'd you say Denzel? What? I don't know that fella, but Obama got some stuff for you on him.
Oh no, Denzel's one of the good ones of those guys. You know what I mean? Denzel's one of the good ones.
Stuff for when he's in that movie and he's kissing that white lady. I don't like.
Can't have that. Can't have that.
Hey, is this racist that I'm doing that voice with this bit? I hope it is.
It might be.
Fuck them. I hope it is because fuck them. Hey, 50 years from now, when they're the minority and they play this shit back at my funeral.
You're gonna be the Eric Murillo of your day. Is what you'll be.
Oh, you thought he was like his old nice grandpa motherfucker? No, let's
look at this shit. Show him the clip.
2020.
Look at this. Look at this accent that he put on. Look at this accent.
Oh my god.
Mariah Carey. Did you see this information that came out about Mariah Carey and her songs about Derek Jeter?
No. She's been shading Derek Jeter.
No. She admitted that two of her old songs were about Derek Jeter. They were like in 1997 or something. She wrote the songs "The Roof" and "My All," and they were both about Derek Jeter.
Wow, that man. Hey,
Jeter, man.
Look. Captain.
Give him the old Mr. Rome salute.
He is the captain, man. Hey, look, I am a certified slinger myself, okay? But I tip of the hat because he's a legend. I don't know if anybody he's first ballot beige Hall of Fame, no doubt. And first ballot black Hall of Fame, first ballot beige Hall of Fame. His ballot's gonna be he's gonna have to get in on the old timers vote on the white Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer in like a few ways, right? Like in all kinds of ways. Derek Jeter is number one. He's done so much for my people, I've got to say.
Man, the gift basket game.
That was amazing.
That's next level. Like, not only did you sleep with the captain and have the night of your life,
right?
You're gonna leave with a gang of cool shit. So you don't have any reason to shit on me or go for some cheap,
Well, not only that, like, because the thing is, like, listen, if he was shitty in bed or an asshole and then sent the gift basket, like, somebody could still shit on him, right? Like, it's not just that, like, oh, he sent a gift basket afterwards. It was like, no one ever came out and was like, yeah, but he was shitty in bed or like he treated me like shit. It was like the gift basket on top of also being dope at whatever else happened before gift basket time. Yes. It was like, yeah, not only was it Derek Jeter, not only was it good enough sex I wouldn't shit on him about it, but also sent me a gift basket afterwards like I did him the favor, right? Like,
and and it was like, for those of you who are like, gift basket, if you don't know this story, the gift basket was dope. It was like some Emmy, like Oscar award type.
Yeah, it was like swag. It was like a swag gift basket. Yeah, it wasn't like some bologna and a couple flowers.
Yeah. It was probably $10,000-$20,000 worth of shit in that gift basket.
Yeah, and considering how much he got around, that's a lot of gift basketing. That's
and the shit that's dope about it is he probably wasn't paid. Probably none of that shit was out of his money directly. Because if I remember, the shit was like they got like a gift card for like $2,000 at night. This nigga was a night sponsor. Like, he didn't pay for that. That was part of his contract. Nigga.
Everything he had to work into his deal with the Yankees. You know how, like, so this is the thing in baseball. I don't know how it is in other sports, but in baseball they organize these deals. They do it in football too. You get like so many like luxuries. Like, if you're a good player, you can negotiate like special perks into your deal, like getting transportation to and from the stadium on game days and getting special, like, for sure he could have had like a gift basket allowance. Oh yeah. Oh man, that totally, because baseball, there's no rules. They have no salary cap.
So they really could put anything in their fucking contract. Really, they do whatever the fuck they want there.
I think Verlander with one of his deals got a whole suite. Like he got a suite at the ballpark where it was just like, if I'm whoever the fuck I want to bring, that's where they get to sit. That's it.
I don't know who's wilder, baseball players or hockey players, but I think maybe baseball players for no other reason.
Hockey players don't get that salary.
I'm saying wilder and partying like after games and shit. And the only reason why I say baseball players, like hockey players go super hard, but baseball players, them motherfuckers treat every city like it's a new adventure. Like they didn't just go hard in Cincinnati, not in.
Well, the other thing too is like
hard.
With hockey players, you're in town. You're in town usually for like a day or two max in a city, and B, like all your guys are pretty much. There's only a few guys on your team who might not play, right? Baseball, you got a roster of 26, and like maybe half of y'all will play. There's definitely like 4 or 5 guys who for sure are not playing because they just played yesterday.
Eight fielders, maybe a pinch hitter or two, and what, 3 pitchers probably.
I mean, if it's an American League team, you got your 9 people.
You guys don't pinch hit. You guys hardly ever pinch hit.
There's no pinch hitting in the American League, so you got. I mean, there is, but they don't really use it.
My guys, I gotta get used to that. I switch sides. I'm still.
So you may go through 12, 13 players in a game total, but the other 13, some of them guys know they ain't playing. Some of the guys just like.
Yeah. You pitched. You a starter. You pitched yesterday.
You closed the game yesterday. You ain't doing shit. You done, homie. You know you can get the pitchers fucking go hard because they ain't got to be nowhere.
Yeah.
They don't have to be.
Anywhere. White Sox pitched a no hitter the other day. That nigga probably was hammered that night.
If he knows what's good for him, he probably got hammered. Did you watch the first season of The Boys?
I did. I loved it.
Yeah. Do you know season 2's out right now?
Yeah, I saw that in your message. I don't keep up with I'm sorry. I'm looking at myself. My eyes look like puffy as fuck. I look like Garfield. I look like Black Garfield is distracting me. Yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna watch it this weekend with my boy. Yeah.
Right on top of it, huh? The weed has definitely started to affect Excel. That part of the show.
The weed a little bit, but I'm just saying.
The weed.
I look like Garfield. Look how puffy my fucking eyes look.
Yeah, fortunately, I set up my system here so that I can't really look at you and keep my eyes on the camera. I have to look away to get you, which is good for me because now I get caught up in whatever bullshit you got going on down there. You have all types of shit happening down in that little window opening where you are on my screen, and I've got you way away from there, so I don't get confused because I would lose my shit otherwise. I wouldn't know what.
That's awesome. That's very smart of you. You know why I got so much shit going on down here? Because I got all kinds of shit distracting me.
Right. Yeah.
I need to put this shit out of my direct view.
He's got the TV on in the background. He's got a couple podcasts going.
It looks like Batman Day One.
He's playing Avengers while we're going through the pod right now. It's
like Bruce Wayne when he first figured out, okay, I'm gonna put the main computer here. And
The Boys is back. It's a fucking dope show. It's super violent. There's probably 5 or 6 heads that explode every season, which is always good. I love it. I love a good series where heads explode. It's a darker look at how superheroes operate, but also a little metaphorical about American values, which I think is interesting and gets into everything from toxic masculinity and the whole deal, but in a way that is super violent.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That first season, the Porpoise demise. I'll say Porpoise demise. So I'm not spoiling shit for you late motherfuckers. The Porpoise demise. I had to stop the fucking thing. I couldn't breathe. I laughed so fucking hard at that shit. That was one of the funniest things.
You got so hard at that shit? Is that what you said?
Incredibly violent. Also incredibly violent.
So you said I got so hard at that shit.
I laughed so hard at that shit. I got so hard. Fucking a dolphin? Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a dark show. It's definitely not meant for kids, even though it's got superheroes in it. It's definitely one that's for adults. So, but yeah, you should check it out. It's got a bunch of good stars in it. Carl Urban is in there. He's super awesome in everything he does. He's been a great character actor for years. He was Judge Dredd.
Here's something I know is not true, but I'm just gonna say it anyway.
Yeah,
Carl Urban, Keith Urban could be brothers.
I think they're both. Aren't they both Australian?
Are they?
It's possible. Carl Urban
are they
Keith Urban
brothers?
are both Australian.
They are brothers?
No, they're not brothers. There's just a lot
They
of.
don't kind of look alike, James.
There are a lot of
racist.
Is that racist?
No.
There are a lot of white lawbreakers who were kicked out of England named Urban, and they ended up in Australia, and that's how that happened.
Is that why Urban is associated with negative?
Yeah, the urban areas of the world are named after the Urban family, whose most famous sons are Keith and Carl Urban.
Oh my God, the legend of the Urbans. Oh, boom! Copyright, niggas, don't steal my shit.
Oh shit, the legend of the Urbans.
Here, I have a Google result for you. So, regardless of rumors and assumptions, Carl's management has often stated that he is not related to Keith Urban, the famous singer, who is also from New Zealand. So it's New Zealand.
New Zealand.
The
cooler Australia.
And with whom Carl shares a K in last name. He is said to have a band with his two brothers called the Urban Brothers.
Wow.
Maybe Keith
That's
Man,
two
that
black
would be
things.
so misleading on title.
That's two black things, the Urban Brothers, and then
Urban
these
Brothers,
guys show up.
Like, are they like the Jungle Brothers, like the updated Jungle Brothers? Like, oh shit, I'm gonna check this shit out.
And it's just these fucking guys from New Zealand. G'day!
Oh my God!
Not even Aborigines. You know what I mean? Just these fucking. I love that the way the story opens is like Carl Urban's management has been like, no, he's not fucking his brother. Okay, that's not his. Like they're not related for the last time. Despite the numerous questions to Carl Urban's management, hell fucking no. Please leave Carl Urban the fuck alone about Keith Urban, okay?
Hey, man. Hey,
You know.
hey, look here. You can call me racist or whatever, but clearly a lot of other people thought that shit. So,
enough to bug Carl Urban and his management team about it, apparently.
Yeah.
There's been some other stuff that's supposed to be coming back, but was slowed down by a little bit. The Rock got COVID. His whole family got COVID. And then Robert Pattinson got COVID, which is just further signs that nobody wants to see the DC universe succeed at making movies.
Hey, I am completely joking, Disney. This is a joke. I'm a comedian, but I feel like Disney been sabotaging their shit the entire time. How is it that DC shit always has problems, man? I feel like this has got to be corporate sabotage. They can't, it's always DC. Like Marvel movies almost never, I mean, obviously we're going to talk later about something that just happened horrible to Marvel Universe, but it's a bigger thing than that. But like DC always has problems. Their movies always have problems out of nowhere. Marvel's movies, smooth.
Yeah, if it comes straight from Marvel, yeah. New Mutants had all types of hang-ups, but
yeah.
If it comes, which by the way, I read the story.
Marvel buy all their shit. That was what.
Yeah, I read the story about that whole thing with Josh Boone and the New Mutants and how unwilling he was to make any changes, and like almost the entire holdup of that movie was Josh Boone just being like, no. They brought in people to come and like punch up the script for the New Mutants the way that they wanted it done. And he was like, he just, every time they'd write up new notes, that's why the shit took so long. They kept wanting to do reshoots and he was like, fuck this. He would fuck shit up on purpose because he did not want any other version than the one that he got. And it's making no money. That's why they released it when they did, because they're like, okay, well, fuck you then. We're going to show you how shitty you are.
They released the version that he wanted?
I'm pretty sure it's as close as he could get to what he wanted out there. But to me, that would also explain why they released it when they did.
Yeah.
To like, get the least impact, because the last thing you want to do is let this fool think he did the right thing. Right. And they can defend, they can sit there and push this poor box office result. Cause like, I'm not going to movies and I love going to movies. Not right now.
I love going to movies. I'm not in fuck that.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead.
Oh, no, yeah. Like, I don't even understand. I live close to a movie theater, And that movie theater, I thought that movie theater was such a piece of shit movie theater that I drive 25 minutes away to another movie theater.
Yeah.
And there's one within 3 miles of my house. And so there's no way I'm trusting them to handle COVID. They couldn't handle popcorn. Get the fuck out of here.
No, it's not going to happen. Last week, after we finished our show over the weekend, we were hit with the news about Chadwick Boseman. I don't think anybody on the planet is unfamiliar with what happened. He had been fighting cancer for like 4 years, which is crazy because he filmed so many movies in the last 4 years along the way and did so much outside of that. I mean,
all the stuff he did outside of it was made it so amazing. This dude was fighting cancer in secret and being an actual hero.
Yeah.
To fuck a community, man. Like that black, it's hard for white people to understand because you guys have had all the superheroes are you. All the superheroes are you. Yeah. We've never had one on that platform before, on that big of a stage where it was a fucking $100 million movie that was just about a black dude or a whole fucking black empire.
It was a whole black empire. It wasn't just a black dude. It was like the cast, except for like a couple people, were black people.
And the story, like the way when you watch the story, like there was nothing in it that felt like white people made them do that. The only part about that felt that way kind of was I can't think of the dude's name. He's a very funny actor. He was good, but the white boy, the white dude, the CIA agent.
Yeah. It was authentic. It was authentically black. I mean, the movie was authentically black.
But that guy being in there was like, that's Hollywood's way of always doing their thing. Like, well, there has to be at least one white person in it.
If there are if there are more movies where that was a thing that people had to say, I'd be okay with that too. You know what I mean?
His character was great. I liked it. I didn't think it fucked up the movie, but like that whole extra storyline was like, because we had to have at least one white guy in it.
They had to tie it to the rest of the Marvel universe, But I saw a chart today that broke down male and even just like male and female dialogue in movies from like the start of talkies to now, and like it's just we could do with a little couple changes in the amount of color in movies, gender in movies, all that could use a little bit of change. But seeing Chadwick, not only do that, but also like this dude played Thurgood Marshall. This dude played Jackie Robinson. This guy, I mean,
and not just played him well.
Yeah, did like the best versions.
Nominated for shit well.
Yeah, and was tremendous throughout. And so, it was difficult to see that happen. And I struggled with it for a couple of days, to be honest with you. It was one of those times where it was like, the wait to get to see a version of the Black Panther seemed like it was so long. And then to finally get it and have it be so like great and pay off the way it did was outstanding. And then to realize that like, you don't get to have that again. Right. Like you don't get to have that again, which is one of the reasons, I mean, aside from a bunch of others where I'm a big fan of the idea of them not recasting that role.
I'm with you about not recasting T'Challa. I do think they should continue the Black Panther.
The Black Panther should continue, but because Shuri becomes the Black Panther at one point. I think that should be the best move.
Or they could figure out a way to reanimate Michael B. Jordan.
No. That is so like the ethos of the Black Panther just doesn't fit with Killmonger's character. It just doesn't.
You're right. But what's I can't think of the brother's name. What's Denzel's son's name?
Oh, John David Washington.
Yeah. Somehow get that motherfucker to be like the next dude to step up to be Black Panther. I mean,
Shuri's right there. Give her the next 10 years.
I agree with you. Dude, I was saying Shuri before.
You have the next 10 years, and by then you're rebooting the whole thing again, so who cares, right? Like, I think that's your next Black Panther, and you can run with it and not really worry about screwing up anything that's going on in the connectivity of the universe and keeping it moving forward. And you have to worry about like casting or recasting. Just rewrite the second one, with the new shit and see if they can move on with it. The NBA's been killing right now. The games have been amazing. They're into the second round of those. We also lost some great people in the NBA. Cliff Robinson died He was 53 years old. He made me go out and wear a headband every once in a while when I played basketball when I was a kid.
Like every dude in the park that wore a headband that was bald head looked like Cliff Robinson for a minute in the 90s, man. It was wild. Like, why you out here trying to be Cliff Robinson, dude? Like,
well, it's interesting because when the 3-point shot came out, there weren't a lot of this is going to sound weird in today's world, but there weren't a lot of small forwards who were like big 3-point shooters. Larry Bird was an amazing 3-point shooter, but a lot of the other small forwards were still taking like mid-range jumpers, or they were like attackers. They were slashers. They would attack the basket. That was a lot of what the small forward was doing. Yeah, there's a lot of those guys. And like, with the advent of that, Cliff Robinson came in as a guy who I think was 6'8" or 6'9".
Yeah, he might have been 6'9", 6'10", but he
would rain from the corner. He was like 6'9", 6'10", would rain from the corner, would shoot the three regular. It really changed. He was part of that evolution of guys, Tom Chambers and these guys who were like these 6'10" guys who could now all of a sudden start shooting. And those guys, I'm telling you, lay the groundwork for what creates these guys today. When you look at some of these guys like Durant and those guys who are 6'10", 6'11", who are that type of, that is part of the mold that follows them. And Robinson was a Sixth Man of the Year, which was an award that seemed like it was almost invented for him, because that Trailblazers team was so deep, and losing him is a big deal. He was a Pippen contemporary, really.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal.
He was a dude, like, he was one of those guys that I felt like there was more of those in the 90s. I might just be being nostalgic, but I felt like there was more Robert Horry, Cliff Robinson. The Bulls always had one or two of those motherfuckers. Like, we had a Cliff Livingston cat that was kind of like that.
He wasn't a 3-point shooter though.
He wasn't never shot threes. What I'm saying is a 6-man kind of guy off the bench.
Oh, 6-man dynamo guy? Yeah, you always got to have one of those guys.
Bench and gave energy or played real good defense or could score, just out of nowhere. This nigga just puts up 14 points. Yeah. This motherfucker ain't played. He played in 3 games. And now he gets in and just like lights up these motherfuckers for 14 points.
Because run that second unit, baby.
That's how it is in the league. And the Bulls up until recent times, I don't know if this team has that, but even Ben Gordon was kind of that guy. He doesn't fit the body type, but I'm saying that type of player that just came off the bench and throw up 30 out of nowhere, in that type of energy.
Yeah. On the coaching side of things, we lost a couple of big time coaches. Lute Olson, who was the head coach at Arizona for a number of years. I almost went to Arizona to try and play basketball out there for a few years when I was coming out of high school. It would have been the right time to be there. I would have definitely sat on the bench because that's when guys like Miles Simon were there. That's when they won their title with Mike Bibby. I would not have played if I'd have gone to Arizona, which is one of the main reasons why I did end up going there. But Lute also was an amazing coach, and he passed away. And then like a day or two later, John Thompson, who was the head coach at Georgetown, passed away. Yeah. And I want to include that because you wrote such an amazing tribute to him as a guy who played ball and who played just outside of Thompson's area. Was he gone from Georgetown by the time you were going to school? He was still there.
Yeah, he was. So he retired in 2002, I think.
Okay, it was so weird to think about the fact that in the 80s, John Thompson was just in his like mid 40s, because I remember being a kid watching him and being like, "This old black dude just running these boys," Man. And it was, your tribute was just really good. It was one of those things where I was like, "That's what I would have." I read that and I was like, "Yeah, I feel that's how I'd have written." Yep, I wrote that too. And I got to the end, I was like, this is pretty much all my words. These are the words I said.
That's dope. I appreciate that, man. Like, nah, man, he was super important, man. I cared about Georgetown. I didn't know shit about Georgetown academics because I was a kid. I was little. I didn't give a fuck about Georgetown college academics, but I knew Georgetown basketball was dope as fuck, and the team was all black. And then when I got older, I was like, oh wow, they're a terrific school too, huh? Oh, that's like. I had no idea about that. I was just a basketball fan. Sorry if I just keep sorry if that made a noise to you guys.
We're almost to the end, so we know we gotta start falling apart. You know what I mean? Excel's already taking his shit down before we.
I'm trying not to get emotional, man, because he was huge to me And I had some coaches that were kind of his like side, like big old black dudes that work with me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he was huge to me. That hurt.
It was a tough one, man. It's he just did so much for the players that were there, whether it was, stopping a drug dealer from operating among his players to the number of players who talked about him saving their life, essentially.
Yeah.
It was interesting because he created he took a bunch of people that just needed to be shown that like hard work would actually get you a result, and then taught them how to actually work hard in a way in which like that effort led a gigantic amount of those guys to the NBA, and almost all of them to getting a degree. Almost every single one of them.
97%.
I mean, that's
97%.
What schools are doing that?
Yeah, nobody's doing it. No, and here's a crazy
no
thing.
Violations. This guy was not in trouble with the NCAA. Georgetown wasn't missing any. Like Georgetown wasn't not going to the tournament when he was the coach. They were, you know what I mean? Like always eligible.
No scandals. The only scandal that ever was when he was like when they created Prop 48. I remember that shit because I was around the time when I graduated and I had to take those fucking tests and shit.
Yep.
He walked off the court.
Yeah.
Because he was like, "This is bullshit."
But that's taking a stand for belief. That's not like.
I see him. So he had no negative scandals.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. And his influence was so big that like, I think Ewing's the coach there now. Patrick Ewing coach there now. Like he had to give his blessing for whoever. Like his son got fired. They had to ask Big John if it was okay. Hey, Big John, it's okay. We fire your boy. He not getting the job done. Big John probably told the motherfuckers to fire him.
Get that motherfucker out there, okay?
We not winning. You got to get rid of my boy.
I do want to cover this argument over boneless wings before we get out of here, but I do.
I love that.
I want to let some people know that I think our midweek mini this week might be about the Steve Nash hiring in Brooklyn and our thoughts on some black coaches and some of the parts that some of the opportunities they should be getting in the league and what's left as far as coaching opportunities before we get too far into it. So look for that midweek mini coming sometime this week where X and I'll break that down. But there is before we get out of here, I definitely want to talk about this. Out in Lincoln, Nebraska, because there's a lot going on in Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a gentleman who came up in front of a city council meeting with the complaint, and these were his words. I go into nice family restaurants and see people throwing this name around and pretending as though everything is just fine. I'm talking about boneless chicken wings. His argument is that if there's no such thing as boneless chicken wings, they're all chicken tenders. There is no... There's no...
He is in no way wrong.
That's not an incorrect statement.
This man is a goddamn hero. Like
someone had to call it out. You know what I mean? It's one of those things that you quietly felt inside, but you didn't have the words, and you didn't know like how to say. He spoke something like it was an inner voice in me that never had the words, but when I heard him say it, I was like, "That's it. I believe the same things as you, my man." Yeah, the crazy thing is so boneless chicken wings, as they've been called so far, I think it's breast meat, and I think that's the main difference is that it's breast meat. And obviously, chicken tenders are usually chicken tenderloins, and that's where the chicken tenders comes from. But who gives a shit, right? They should just be called chicken tenders and chicken little breasts or something, like
saucy nugs.
Nugs. Call them nugs. Nugs is the thing you call them. Chicken nuggets. That's what they are. They just call them chicken nuggets. Saucy nugs are wet tenders. Those are the other options you could go for. I'd go for wet tenders.
Wet tenders.
He also offered up the idea that you could call them trash. So he goes, I don't go around ordering boneless tacos or boneless club sandwiches, which is true. You don't order boneless versions of any of those things. If I get a chicken sandwich, I don't order a boneless chicken sandwich.
Unless it's a place that specializes in bone-in chicken sandwiches. Which would be a weird ass thing. I bet you there's a place that does that. Just
to be honest,
it'd be weird.
As a
black call it a sandwich with just bread on the side.
As a black person, I don't want to lose a lot of credibility for this because I easily could, and I want to be clear. I like waffles, and I like fried chicken, and I like syrup, and I don't have a problem with the taste of them all together. Right, the taste of chicken and waffles is delicious.
The end of our show.
The problem I have is that like the texture of getting all that together, it's a pain in the ass. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not gonna lie. It's a pain in the ass. Delicious, pain in the ass. It's like crab. Crab is great. I love eating crab, but also it's an hour of breaking through fucking shells to get to I'm not trying to shit on the food, right? I'm not saying it's bad.
I feel the exact same way about crab.
I'm just saying, like a piece of fried chicken inside of 2 waffle pieces. It's a lot of like hard edges.
So here's what I do: this is the only time I ever eat fried chicken like this. Whenever I have chicken and waffles, I eat my fried chicken with a knife and fork, and I cut it up. And I cut like if I want to do the whole actual chicken and waffle together, I cut off a piece and cut off a piece of waffle and dip the syrup and just do it in one big chunk together. But
waffles ain't shit. I mean,
but the waffle, I took a stance against waffles,
right?
And I'm a pancake man.
I'm a French toast guy.
I know you're a French toast guy. I'm a pancake man. However, the waffles at the original chicken and waffle joint
Roscoe's,
Roscoe's,
yeah.
Those are the most magnificent waffles on planet Earth. Like those waffles are fucking magic in your mouth.
If you can get them loaf bread soft, then we could talk about it. But if you give me one of them hard edge Eggo motherfuckers,
have you had them?
Yeah, I've been there. It's a little, you
don't like those waffles?
I like
the only waffle I like.
I do. Again, with your method of like cutting with the fork and the knife, like white people, then yes, that's a move, right?
It's the only time I eat like that. It's the only time.
I'm not trying to shit on you for it because I couldn't imagine trying to eat them. Like I've picked them up the other way and I hate it. I'm like, I have to get
dude.
I create like a reservoir of syrup in my mouth.
Hey, remind me off air. There's a spot in Milwaukee that has chicken and waffles, but they do like a chicken breast, but it's really thin and it's super delicious. And it would be very, very easy to sandwich the style that you're trying to do.
I think French toast and waffles is the move. I think French toast and waffles is the move.
French toast and waffles? Or French toast?
Or French toast and chicken. Yeah, French toast and chicken. Although I wouldn't turn down French.
Trying to get to a universe of French toast and chicken. I see. This is just a guys to get your French toast.
Try to get the French toast
on the table. You just want to slide your French toast.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the French toast universal. Toast Hey man, where can people check you out online to follow you for more shit, man? We've had a fun episode. We actually laughed this time. We had no big arguments and a lot of fun. How about that shit?
I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, I'm back.
Come back. Tell us where they can find you online. Your Twitter and your Instagram.
You can find me at XL Comedy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. You can also find me just, hanging out somewhere in the street, COVID style, with a mask on. Like, what up, nigga? That's me.
That shit kills.
You're like, is that XL? And you just give me a nod, and I'm going to nod back because that's me.
Yeah, shout out to all those people that talk about staying home, but all their Instagram live stories are them with a bunch of other people out in the world. I'm sure your friends are being just as careful as you are with all the other people they hang out with. You can catch me at Mocha_Jesus on Twitter and Instagram. It's BobbyHill.com is the website. Make sure you get over to the New OGs Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us there. Next week, hopefully, we'll be on YouTube. Make sure you get us on YouTube. That's where all our videos will have the midweek mini there this week.
And Instagram.
We figured it out. Yeah. We'll be on Instagram. Also, speaking of which, go to People of Comedy and People of Comedy Network on Twitter and Instagram. Follow them there. They are now going to probably have some live shows up on their Instagram feed now that James has figured that out. Make sure you check out GoSolarMasters.com and refer somebody to get yourself some money. Thank you for sticking here with us this whole week and hanging out with us for this hour. That's it. That's what's up. We out.
Hey, shout out Koos, man. Appreciate the love. Thanks for watching.
They can try to steal the moves, but they ain't us. Thank you, gang, but nigga, you a stranger. Bitches wanna fuck, but nigga, you can't blame us. Whole lot of niggas change.